Welcome to lesson number 3 of math. In this lesson, we are learning how to do percent, how to find percent of a number. We'll start with 25% of 44. Now, there are many different ways to work any math problem, but I'll be showing you the simplest way in everything that we do. So the simplest way to find percent would be like this. First, drop the percent sign. Then we're going to move the decimal point 2 places to the left. You might say there is no decimal point, but it doesn't show. So we could say there's a decimal point at the end of any number. We just don't write it all the time. So the decimal point starts out right here, and we're going to move it 2 places to the left. And now we have 25 hundredths times 44. Five times 4 is 20, carry 2. 5 times 4 is still 20, plus 2 is 22. 2 times 4 is 8. We do not put it here. We scoot over 1 place. 2 times 4 is 8 again. And here we always add them up because multiplication is a short form of addition. 0, 10, carry 1, 11. Now we're going to place the decimal point. Our decimal point is right here. We count how many digits are to the right. 1, 2. We start over here and go to the left. 1, 2. So 25% of 44 is 11. Another example, 300% of 25. We follow exactly the same procedure. Drop the percent sign. Move the decimal point 2 places to the left, and these zeros are not necessary because there's no digit to the right of them. Therefore, they have no value, and we certainly don't want to put 3.00 down here and start with 2 rows of zeros. It's easier to get confused. So just drop them now, and we have a simple problem of 3 times 25. Of means times. 3 times 5 is 15. Carry 1. 3 times 2 is 6, plus that 1 is 7. So 300% of 25 is 25. Now here's a tricky one. 2% of 200. We follow exactly the same rule. Drop the percent sign. Move the decimal point 2 places to the left. Well, there are not 2 places to the left. So we add a 0. Now we have 0.02, 2 hundredths, times 200. 0.02 times 200. 0, 0, 4. And we count to place the decimal point. 1, 2. Start over here, move to the left. 1, 2. So 2% of 200 is 4. Each time you work any math problem, you should look at it to see if it's logical, see if it makes sense. And when you think of percent, you need to realize 100% is the whole thing. And it's good to think of percent in terms of a dollar, because 100 pennies is the whole dollar. 100% is the whole thing, the whole number, no matter what that number is. So 2% is a very small percent, like 2 pennies out of $1. 2 pennies out of each of $2 would be a total of 4 pennies. Makes sense. If you end up with 400, when you were trying to take 2% of 200, the decimal point is obviously in the wrong place. Okay? A small percentage, a small answer. Here we have a big percentage, 300%. Well, 100% would be 25. So 200% of 25 would be 50. 300% of 25 would be 75. That's the logical answer. And especially when you're working word problems, you should stop and consider, is this a sensible answer? With this one, 25%, this is a very typical percent that you would do if you're shopping and you want to know how much a discount is and so on. Percentage is a very important thing to understand because of the importance of percent when you're handling your money. You want to know that you're not paying too high of a percent of interest. 25% of 44, 25 is like a fourth, and this is very sensible. If you were to divide 44 by 4, you would get 11. If you got 1,100, that would be absurd. So as unreasonable as some of the answers may sound, students actually do that very often on tests. For example, if Jose makes $1,000 a month, how much does he make in a year? And the answers may vary from $12 a year to $120,000 a year because the decimal point is in the wrong place. And sometimes a student will say, I got all the numbers right. I did all the multiplication right. All those big, hard numbers to multiply, and you're going to mark it wrong because the decimal point is in the wrong place? Of course I'm going to mark it wrong. If you went in to get your paycheck and you were expecting $400 and you received a check for $4, that decimal point is obviously in the wrong place. So learn how to place the decimal point properly when you find percent of a number, and that's the end of lesson number 3.